Welcome back, my friends, to AVG Average Cox Gaming. Going to talk about Citadel Forged with Fire. The devs, the community team is looking for some suggestions from the community for the newest essence and spells. And once they have compiled a list that I guess they like, then they will have the community vote on it, which is super cool because I think that the devs have done a good job of listening to feedback of the community, and this is a way for them to show that they're willing to listen to the community and implement things that the community is asking for. So anyway, I recommend please, on this video, just use the template that I'm going to show you, comment on this video, or at least go to their Twitter, Facebook, comment there. If you don't have those social media platforms, well, if you don't have any social media platforms, then I guess hop in Discord and mention it there. But any of the comments that are mentioned in this video, I will forward over to Discord so that they can see the recommendations from the video. Anyway, let's get into it. I'm going to give you my recommendations, and I really think I'm onto something with my idea. So bear with me and let me know what you think. Okay, so firstly, I think that if we do have a new essence with a new spell tree, it's important that it makes sense and that it's balanced for the rest of the game but has a place. So it can't do the same things that already exist in the game. But alright, this is what I'm thinking. So I'm thinking Mystic Essence. And the thing with this is that I think that Mystic Essence should only be craftable. You have to craft it. Now, it shouldn't be super expensive to craft. Some sort of endgame materials, maybe precious stone and something else, maybe like precious stone and fairy dust. That would be cool. And it needs to be like a level 45, level 50 thing or something to that nature, to where it takes a little bit to unlock it. It's more of an endgame essence. But here are my ideas. Let's start with utility and self, since those kind of transcend all the weapon types. So for utility and self, I have a couple of things here. So for self, I'm thinking like a thorn skin. So when I think of a magic game and wizards and everything, I think of thorns, the ability to have some sort of buff on yourself that when you take damage, it returns a certain amount of that damage back to the attacker. So in this case, maybe it could be 5%, 10%, whatever. And the deal with this is that it's same thing as Barkskin and Bloodlust. It cannot stack with those, so it'll kind of be balanced in that regard. So like, let's say it's 10% damage return. You can't have Bloodlust, you can't have your damage buff and your health buff. You can't have Barkskin for increased armor. I think that this ability should also work for turrets as well, for obelisks. So when you get shot by an obelisk, it should return a certain amount of damage to that obelisk, and that's going to proc Reformation Stones. It could be another really useful tool for raiding. And also, the beauty with that is a lot of people use Bloodlust or Barkskin for raiding now, and so with Thorns, it gives them another option for raiding. Plus, it could, honestly, because of the amount of turrets that could possibly shoot, it could proc a lot of Reformation Stones and give a brand new dynamic to raiding. So that is Thornskin. The next thing, so that's either self or utility. I don't think it matters. I think that they can be interchangeable. But for the other one, I'm thinking Brute Strength. And what this allows you to do is it allows you to run slightly faster, jump higher, and it increases your melee damage. And while it's activated, you take 0 durability damage on your weapons from melee attacks. So right now, if you attack something, you take a durability damage with melee. So like, let's say you have the Phoenix Katana out, you pop that, it's going to increase your melee damage, and you take no durability damage to that Phoenix Katana. So increased speed, not as much as haste, because that would defeat the purpose of haste. Slight increased speed, increased jump. I would say probably decreased fall damage as well, since you're increasing the jump. Usually those go hand in hand, and then no durability damage to melee attacks. All right, the next thing is going to be projectile. This isn't the best thing yet. The best thing is yet to come, by the way. Projectile. It's going to be, I don't have a name for it, heat-seeking missile. Basically, you will hold down your projectile button, and it will lock on a target, just like a heat-seeking missile. It'll take a second to lock on. Then once it locks, you release, and it shoots the projectile, and it locks onto your target. Now, with any lock-on, there's always the ability to escape the lock-on, and I think that should be the case here. But like, you need to be evasive to be able to escape it. So that's my idea for projectile. The next thing is blast. And so what blast is going to do is it's going to conjure a temporary NPC to fight by your side. And the way I think it should be is kind of like with Blue Mage and like a mixture of Blue Mage and Summoner in Final Fantasy. What you have to do is, like, when you use your pacify, you know how there's a taming bar? Well, the spell will just be kind of like that. It'll be like a pacify, and you have to basically suck the life out of something. You don't have to kill it, but like, it'll fill the bar up around where the spell is, and so that spell, while it's in that state to where you're capturing the whatever the creature is, there's no spell energy needed for the spell. There'll just be a bar around it, and you suck the life out, and when that bar is full, you can now summon that creature at a reduced amount of damage and HP that it has temporarily, and it won't actually look exactly like that creature. It'll be like an all purple or an all pink or an all red version of that creature, just, you know, like as a thrall, basically. You're summoning this thing. So that would be kind of cool. Another thing I have for AoE, which is super neat, is it's like a demonic pool. So think of Blizzard, or Frozen Essence to AoE. Instead, it's going to be a demonic pool of demons reaching out from hell, or something like that. And it's going to do damage over time for anything standing in there, but also it's going to debuff. You're going to take increased damage, the 10% damage debuff, and a very generous armor debuff if you stand in it as well, which could be really good for defense of your base. You pop that, they get an armor debuff, and they're taking more damage. Whether that's 20, 30, 50, whatever, I don't know what's balanced for this game, but the armor crusher is really important. So the last thing we have is beam. I said blast for the conjuring thing. It can kind of go either way, to be honest. I have a couple of ideas for the last ability. I think it should be something that's like encompassing. So maybe it's like a mystic storm around your body, that if anything's near you, like in your space, like hitting you, they take damage over time. So it's something you can pop on yourself, and it does that storm around your body, and then you can use other spells to compound it. I don't have a name for it, but those are the ideas. So those are the ideas I have. If you're going to throw out ideas, make sure you have all 6 of the possible spell types: utility, self, projectile, blast, AoE, and beam. Again, Mystic Essence can only be crafted, and it's not necessarily endgame, but it's definitely a higher tier item. Anyway, let me know what you guys think. Let me know your ideas of what you'd like to see in the game. I think we're onto something here. I do appreciate you guys watching. Let me know how your play is going with Citadel. Until next time, thanks for watching.